I love him. I love him. Fani Willis's dad, so cute, so adorable. I love him. Everything has been going very well for Fani Willis. We're halfway through day 2 of the trial. Everything has been going very well for Fani Willis, except at the very end, possibly something happened that may undercut this morning's good events. I will come back to that. So first of all, the morning started well because there is a witness named named Mr. Bradley, who does not seem to want to testify. He is a witness, I think, for the defense, and they want him to say bad things about Nathan Wade and Fani Willis, which I don't think he wants to say. And now the judge said he's in violation of a subpoena because he didn't come to testify. He said he's at the doctor's office. They wanted him to testify by Zoom. Then he said no. Fani Willis's lawyers refused that. So that's an ongoing issue. I'm not sure if he's going to pitch up this afternoon. Now, at the end of the morning session, we've only had 2 witnesses, both of whom were very good for Fani Willis, except at the very end. So the elderly Southern gentleman, as I said, was fantastic. He said that she approached him about being special prosecutor. He declined to become the special prosecutor because he said he didn't want to live with security again. These people are actually under so many daily threats. It's awful. It's awful. The amount of political violence in America is very concerning, that the people are under threat for their lives for prosecuting this case. So the elderly Southern gentleman did confirm that she had approached him about being the special prosecutor, meaning she did not just try to get her boyfriend to be the Southern prosecutor. Secondly, they called her dad, who is adorable. He is so adorable. Now, the dad was there to confirm that he said he had been living in her house from 2019. This is relevant because she first met Nathan Wade at a conference in 2019. And the defense yesterday had her college friend basically say that Fani and Nathan Wade started their romance in 2019, which they do not agree with. So they said that they started their romance in 2022, and it's very important, the timeline. So the defense lawyer, Ashley Merchant, who, by the way, is not a very effective lawyer. She gets everything confused. She gets the dates confused. I don't know if she does it as a tactic to try to get the witnesses confused, but she's always confusing everything. I don't know if she's actually confused or it's a strategy, but it's not working. She looks so incompetent. So Ashley Merchant was trying to depose the dad. It did not go well. The dad ran circles around all the lawyers. Let's talk about Fani Willis's dad. He's such a cool guy. He's a lawyer. He said he's from the South Central Los Angeles, but he has lived all around the world. He has tried cases all around the world, including at The Hague, etc., etc. And he is a very, very competent lawyer, apparently, but he's also, from the vantage point of African people interested in the African diaspora, he has lived through many events. He's around 80, I believe, and he was in the civil rights movement. He knows about SNCC. He was living in South Africa before he came back to America in 2019 to start living in his daughter's house. He had been living in South Africa where he wanted to stay. He said he worked on Nelson Mandela's case at some point, I'm not sure when. Anyway, he's a very interesting guy. He's writing a memoir, so we can all look forward to that. More importantly, the 2 important things he said this morning: he lived in our house from 2019. He never saw Nathan Wade there. He never knew about their romance, and he only met Nathan Wade in 2023. He found out about their romance 7 weeks ago. So what it means is that in 2019, when him and his daughter were living in the same house, in fact, until 2021, him and his daughter were living in the same house. He was living in her house. Because of COVID, he didn't want to leave and go anywhere. He never met Nathan Wade, but he had met former boyfriends of hers when he had arrived in 2019. She had a different boyfriend, apparently, who he met because he used to come to the house, meaning that he does not corroborate the defense's contention and allegation that they started their romance earlier. Secondly, it's a black thing. When he asked about Fani Willis keeping cash in the house, he said, "I'm sorry, Your Honor, it's a black thing." He said that he told his daughter she should always keep cash in the house. He gave an example that he said one time he had been at Harvard University in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and in Cambridge, Massachusetts, which is quite a liberal place. This must have been the 1970s, but still, Cambridge, Massachusetts has always been quite a liberal place. He said he went to a restaurant and he had an American Express, he had a Visa, and he had traveler's checks back in those days, traveler checks was like cash. He said the restaurant said that they accepted all of those, but they refused to accept it from him. He implied that because of race issues, and that they were just being racist. And so he luckily had a $10 bill. Those were the days. He said it was with his wife and his 3-year-old daughter at that time, Fani Willis, and he paid the bill with that $10 bill. So he said that he always felt like black people have got to keep cash. That's why he told her, keep 6 months of cash. He corroborated all her testimony basically yesterday, that he had 3 safes in his house when she was growing up, that he gave her her first cash box, that he had given her all this advice. If you go on a date, make sure you don't have to rely on the man. You can get out of there if you want to. He did everything. And then the only thing that happened at the very end, he had confirmed her testimony. He ran circles around those lawyers. They really couldn't get a word in edgewise. He was such a dignified older man. It looked very bad to really go after him. But at the end, there was some Trumpy lawyer who came on Zoom who basically asked him if he was prepped by his lawyer, or how he knew about being asked about cash. And he said he was prepped by his lawyers. And then somebody asked him if he had seen coverage of yesterday's testimony. And he said, of course I've seen coverage of it. He said, it's everywhere. And it's everywhere, I couldn't avoid it. So basically, they implied that he should have been under the rules of sequestration, that he shouldn't have been looking at anything, but nobody told him that apparently, or that was not clear, because it's not really a trial. So basically, that Ashley Merchant, who is, I'm not a fan of hers, asked the judge to strike his testimony, and the judge said no, but he'll take into account that he had seen the testimony. So that's what I mean, that maybe the fact that he's seen the coverage and he knew that the issue of cash was going to come up, maybe that will undercut what he said. But he was a very credible witness, in my opinion. These people looked like idiots. They just looked like they were grasping, trying to get something to pin on them. So anyways, I'm just saying, it's going well for Fani Willis so far, but it's going to be a rocky afternoon. I'll come back to when I've seen the afternoon. Let's pray, because Fani Willis obviously comes from a father who was a very effective lawyer, and she herself was very effective. And if I ever need a lawyer, I would love Fani Willis to be my lawyer. But I just don't want her to get disqualified from this case. Okay, guys, more later. Thank you.